Hello everyone, it is Francesco here. It is good to be back doing a video here on the channel. Now, I wanted to do a Todoist setup tour. I wanted to do this mainly because my Todoist has changed quite a lot and because I haven't done a setup tour for about 6 months now. And people are always curious how I get to use Todoist. I always find that looking at how someone else uses it, you always find one or two little bits that you can steal and then you can apply to your own accounts. Now, if you do want to subscribe here, you can. It's a new channel, so it'd really be great to have you. So please do subscribe. So as you can see here, I am running the latest version of Todoist. I've not currently got boards, although they have asked, I've asked whether I can have access early to play around with it. But that's what I'm quite excited for boards, if I'm honest. Just to see how it changes the system and flows that I work through. But here is my account. So I mainly spend most of my day on this view, the Today view. And probably the biggest change you'll see is this left-hand panel is now just personal. So for those who don't know, I used Todoist for about 7 years just for personal and work. And when Otto came along, it got to a point where I was really spending too much time managing my Todoist and realizing that I could probably separate them out a little to sort of make these differentiations. I think it's because there's now more going on in my personal life and managing stuff around the house. Probably a combination between that and the lockdown. So as you can imagine, I've now sort of separated that out. And I'm going to show you how I now operate my Todoist. So as I said, I spend most of my time in the Today view, and I've got a range of different sort of outlets. I've got Otto, which is for all sort of Otto related activities. So I've utilized sections here. So administration could be just like things that I need to do for him. Purchases that we need to make, you know, prams and all that sort of jazz. Routine stuff. If there was a new routine item, I remember a few weeks ago, like routine, give him some, like it was a medicine that he was having, and also, you know, stuff that's related to Bex as well, that I need to do. And then down here, health as well. So I can start making these lists. They don't have to be actionable items, which is nice. For example, in the purchases list, I had about 3 or 4 things in there that we were buying at one time. And I just add task and like add them to this list. Now, you may have noticed I actually haven't put an emojis at the start. I probably will put some, but when I'm firmly concreted, because this system's only been running for about 2 months or so now. And that sort of, you know, I don't want to commit to putting emojis in just yet. That's sort of like the concrete sort of action. And then I've got an area called Rex. Rex is basically recommendations. It's just what it stands for. I've got follow-ups, which is just like follow-ups on like orders that I need to do. So like, oh, that one needs to be returned. That one needs to be returned. Then I'm getting recommendations from people like, I still haven't watched this Mr. Robot thing. Then purchases down here. So I recently literally went in here, and because the house is renewing, like the year is renewing, so I went in and quickly updated all this and what needs to be done. Then I've got like things like that would be tempting me. So I've recently bought that free terrain vest because I wanted it for running. But then also this is tempting me here. So, you know, it's making a list of those so that I'm not sort of overwhelmed by what I want. But at the same time, it allows me to make less impulse purchases because I'm putting them in here and going, I'm stewing over them. See, these probably should be in this area. This is probably the most active project, which is errands. So errands is normally broken down into chores. It's broken down into finance, and it's broken down into home. As you can see here, this is a lot of stuff has landed in the top area. So I probably should sort this into the right areas. So in this case, chores should probably be things like cell lighting, reset Evernote password, go on a run. I've tried to put that daily or every 2 days, so I could probably put that as a chore. And then like things like preparing quiz questions could probably be inside of home. See, there's not really too much differentiation. I always put stuff at the home that's routine here, but then stuff that's outside the home that feels more chorey here. And it's this. You can see here that there's some overlap because I'm still like working out. So this one probably could go. just because it's already inside of home. But you can see the whole concept. I wouldn't say that's a chore. I'd say put it in home. And then, you know, things like this. Like sometimes there is some overlap. Like I probably should put Rex and then bring the Adidas to follow up, because that's sort of brand follow up. And then, you know, adding the stuff to the Tesco order is pretty easy. So you can see that I maybe even gone a bit too mad with this in terms of being able to organize stuff. But you can see that this is almost like the inbox at the top. So that's where that lands. And then down here is where I sort them out. Sometimes if I have like an hour to do the day, I don't use labels anymore. Like labels are pretty much, I've tried to use them, but forcing yourself to use something sometimes can probably be a negative habit. But you can see here that if I'm like I've got an hour free to do the home, then I could probably just smash out the bathroom, you know, final cleaning items, and the bedding and fridge cleanup. So everything's become a lot more sort of, you know, granular inside of this account. So that's the main areas, I'd say. I have a reading area, and the main reason I like to dump a lot of stuff inside of here is because it is a good clipper. The clipper that goes to the inbox is perfect. It works so smoothly, as many of you know who are Todoist users, and you know, it doesn't falter. So I am trying to reduce the amount of stuff I have in per day, but at the moment you can see here that I pretty much got the next sort of week or so planned, and you can see everything from, you know, do the task order to sort drawers to call grandpa. It's very different from what I was previously doing, which was very much, you know, actually I need to go there, very much just work and breaking down tasks into subtasks, whereas this is really just cleaner and much more organized because it's only for personal work. And you're probably curious, how do you, what do you use for like a task manager now? Well, I've created this area called Agenda inside of Notion. I've been using this for about a month and a half now. And as you can see here, it's pretty much like a plan for the day. I basically have these different sections: next, planned, and admin. So admin's where I dump everything during the day, like tweets, like stuff that I could check out, things that people are like sort of recommending to me that are active that I could probably clear by the end of the day. Planned is mainly stuff that I've got coming up. So this is my planned next week. This is all that I'm doing next week. Normally it's just like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday sort of planning with toggles. And then this is my plan for the day. So I'm currently like here, how I use Todoist. So you can see that it's a very sort of simplistic layout. It's not even got tables or anything. So that's something that I'm doing. And then I have goals here. And the goals are obviously to sort of like align what I'm doing in the long run. And agenda is available through goals. So the whole concept behind it is to be sort of a bit more streamlined. Personal work. And the main reason I did that is because, one, as I said, life has changed for me. I'm now doing a lot of sort of you know, at-home stuff, and also because of lockdown. Having a baby has changed the way that I work, definitely, because now I'm trying to make things a little bit easier. So when I log into Todoist, at least I know that I'm clearing stuff that is for us. And then when I open Notion, it's really for when I'm trying to get you know, work stuff done. I'm trying to still work out the philosophy on this, or like reasoning to why I'm doing this. But at the moment, it seems to be making life a lot more calmer. So if you have any questions about my Todoist, I'm happy to open them in the comments below. A few other things. Karma's gone down pretty dramatically. I don't have any more streaks. All my streaks died. I had like a pretty decent streak before the baby came. Now it's like only because I was doing considerably more activities. But now, like you can see, like it just goes down and down. You can see that it's just because of the way that that I'm using it. So I'm not using it for work and everything like that. The other thing as well is I'm using themes. I use the graphite theme for this account, and I still use a mobile application pretty well. The other thing I'll mention is I am sort of using this to some extent. Like I just like how this scrolls now versus like I can go ahead and plan in advance for stuff. So I know that, for example, like this day I could be like pack for zoo because we're going to go there for the day, and that's probably auto related. And obviously, like, that feature's helping, but I don't see myself using the main one too aggressively, so I'll probably put that there. So folks, that was a look at my Todoist account. Not really much power in it, I'd say. I'd say it's very, very simple, and I'm using it as a very personal to-do list application right now, but I really enjoy it. I think it's changed the way that I work, and definitely I feel less stressed because I'm not piling stuff into one application. The things that I don't like about Notion's setup is that if I wanted to create some sort of like granular setups of 9 AM, 10 AM, then that's not going to be available really through here. You could do it like 9 AM, do this, 10 AM, but that seems really long-winded, and also ticking off stuff doesn't feel as satisfying. But you can't win them all, and at the moment this setup's doing great for me. So thank you very much, folks. Please do subscribe, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Cheerio.